we're so happy to have you here. You're a legend. So, this
I'm a real legend. I'm playing the back of a cigar shop. That's a real legend. This one at the top of my resume. I'm debating, by the way, which way I sit. Does this look too not Pittsburghy?
Pittsburghy.
You got to go Pittsburghy when you're here.
Yeah, so we're here in the back of Leaf and Bean. Co-host T-Rowe.
What's going? Not much, man. How you doing? Yes, sir. Every time.
T-Rowe go way back. Before he was born.
Before I was born.
That's true.
That is right. That is right. My father, Rick Gilbert, and then Craig went to Cal U together, right? Yeah.
And he was the man.
He's the man.
I don't want to say anything, but he was getting the ladies.
He was getting ladies back then.
We're the only straight guys in theater, man. You're gonna get some ladies. Slim pickets. I love
theater.
Slim pickets. If I'm in there with any normal dudes, I'm like, maybe 20th in line.
Right.
There, I'm 1 and 2 with Rick Gilbert. He had a better voice, though. He stole all my solos that day.
Is that right? Yeah, he still sings current day. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, and I don't. I do comedy.
You do comedy now.
You see where that went. I think they made the right choice in giving him the solo. Well, plus, I actually had a horrible story. He was there for it.
Is that right?
I had a 5-octave range, and I didn't even know what that was. I'm from Philadelphia. You don't sing in Philly.
In Philly, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I come out to Cal U. I think I can start over again.
Right.
300 miles away. Nobody knows me.
Right.
I said, you have the lead. They gave me the lead. And they said, there's a song from West Side Story called Something's Coming. Said,
okay.
You can handle it. But you have nowhere to rehearse it. You can't rehearse in a dorm. Will kick your ass.
Right.
I can't be there could be. Who knows? So I didn't really have it down. And I drank. I got drunk on opening night, Steel Auditorium, and Rick was there. And the guy, first of all, I'm shaking, nervous.
Yeah.
And Ed Ball, he was supposed to give me the cue line. He was supposed to say, well, I'm sure something's coming.
Right.
Which is the name of the song. And he got nervous. He goes, I'm sure something's bound to come up. And then he leaves me on stage all alone. Something's bound to come up. That's not the word. I hear Bev over there. Dun, 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 and I didn't know where to come in. All of a sudden, this warmth comes over my body. I peed my pants. Like a full wedding. And there's beige pants. You see this spot. The whole place is laughing. And I can't remember the words. I'm going, could it be? Yes, it could. But I didn't know. So this show's gonna come back. Come to the sky, clean this up. Rose. Anytime I knew it, I would show off my voice. But then and all the other times, I'm oh my God, they're gonna notice. And sure, they were pointing.
They were pointing.
Put the spot on the spot.
On the spot.
So I never sang since. That was it.
That was it. That was the end of your career.
That was the entree into comedy. I go, let them laugh at me because of my pants.
That's something. That's not. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
Do you remember? Years.
38 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been alive.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks for rubbing that in. I feel real good about that.
I'm at 17. What are you at?
13.
13 years. Yeah. So it's a grind,
I'm trying
man.
to get out though. You guys are trying
to get in. Yeah.
I'm trying. I tried retiring. I retired for 9 months. Yeah.
Is that right?
It's been a long road, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, at Cal U, I put myself through school. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
My dad left when I was born. Like something I said, wah.
Yeah, right.
He's gone, and so we had no money. I thought his name. My mom could say it all the time. I thought his name was "Doesn't Pay the Child Support." I thought that was his name. Doesn't pay the child
Doesn't
support.
pay the child support.
Yeah. And so I had no money, and I would put myself through school doing. I would play strip clubs, fraternity parties.
Is that right?
And then I parked in the president's parking spot. I had a '65 Cadillac ambulance.
Yeah.
A hearse, big job. Blakely Borough was right
Right.
behind it. I parked it in the president's parking spot. So many times I had $1,000 worth of fines, and I paid them off by performing at his inaugural ball. So here I am at this.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're all black tie and stuff. I'm doing celebrity smoking pot, and I'm doing curly on the floor. And these people are staring at me. I'm going, this is worth $1,000. I gotta get out of these tickets. And I did. I got out of the tickets. That's what put me through those comedy, and I've been doing it ever since.
Ever since, huh?
Yeah. And they always said, you need something to fall back on. That's why I went to college. Something to fall back on. And all those people have different jobs. I have the same job.
You have the same job.
I said, I make more money than you, and I'm in the same job. So there you go.
There you go.
Backup plan.
That's a lesson learned.
Yeah. Craig, what makes you want to leave stand-up comedy? I mean, I know you've been doing it for so long. Are you getting bored with it, or are you just annoyed with the business right now?
Well, one thing is I do not like promoting myself, although here I am. Excepting this gig, yeah. So I really, how many times can you say, come see me, and come up with ideas on how they come see you, and it's just, and my ego, I don't have an ego anymore. I had an ego before.
Yeah.
That's why I got in. I wanted to get laid.
Right.
I wanted attention that my mother never gave me. All that stuff. They always say women want a sense of humor. That's a bunch of crap.
Right.
Sense of humor, my ass. They're never in the front row throwing panties. Tell another joke, comedy boy. You're making me moist.
I always say that comedian groupies are we got the worst groupies. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like athletes that have the most beautiful women following them around, and rock stars.
Yeah.
And comedy groupies, they're like,
Yeah, there's what we don't
fat chicks with little tits.
Exactly. And rock stars, they figure you're write a song about them, Rosalita, My Sharona, or whatever.
Right.
They're like going, oh, that's my PMS he's talking about on stage. They don't have a lot of honor when we're ripping on them.
Right, exactly.
So they don't want to be that, the subject of half of our act. So I just got tired of, just my whole purpose of living just shifted.
Yeah.
And where I'm not about me anymore. So now I do it literally to be of service to people, to offer laughter. Because I really do love that part of it.
Yeah.
But if everybody would just show up, maybe in my living room I'll have shows.
Right.
Then I could be with my kids, because now I'm loyal to my kids. I'm
right.
like my dad. I have 4 kids. And that's the other reason. I'm here, with you guys, and I'd much rather, hey, Justin, clean your room. No offense, but I'd much rather.
Hey, I understand. I got 3 little girls.
Yeah, you want to be with them and raise them, and, be present and active in their lives.
Yeah.
You have a 5-year-old.
I do. I have a 5-year-old daughter, a little girl. Her name's Zoe, and she is.
I got a Chloe.
You got a Chloe.
Zoe, maybe they could do a comedy show together.
You want to know the funny thing about?
She's funny.
Here's the funny thing about that. When Zoe starts acting bad, I tell her, I'm trading you in for another daughter. I'm going to name her Chloe. And so
Really?
I always say that to her, and she gets so pissed. She's like, you better put Chloe in a garbage can, Dad. That's what she tells me. No 5-year-old daughter.
My wife, my daughter's playing with this cat. She loves this cat. She goes, Mommy, I want a cat. She goes, well, we can't. Your dad's allergic to it. Let's just get another dad.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, that was smart. We're keeping the cat.
She has a family. She has a fantasy family in South America with a comedian dad. Or a comedian. She made up a comedian dad in South America.
In South America.
And she says he's funnier than me. That's the worst thing you can say to a comic.
Now, how old are your
You
kids?
can say we have a little dick. You can say
anything.
Do not say we're
Someone's
not funny.
yeah, that's the worst.
We are.
That's the worst.
Traded you in for Trevor.
It's terrible.
Like,
How old are your kids?
I got 4, 8, 13, and 19.
4, 8, 13, 19. That's something
They
else.
really are. They light me up, and I love my wife, and so I want to be, I want to be there. So I'm producing a lot of television now.
Yeah.
But there's no money in it yet. They got to buy it.
Right.
I got so many shows that I'm doing, and I'm also of service. I get this Laughter Heals organization. So everything just sort of shifted purpose. Instead of about me, it's about others, and really making sure that they're aware of what laughter we need. We need laughter now more than ever. Absolutely. In fact, me and Bill Bellamy are about to do a tour.
Bill,
called Make America Laugh Again.
Is that right?
Yeah, we're starting end of May.
I was just hanging out. Bill was just here. He was just here, and I was hanging out with him. We went to a club over here called Cavo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still hangs out in the clubs a lot. I'm like, Bill, you're getting a little bit old to be in the clubs,
I
cuz.
know.
But he's in there.
I was just with him the other night.
Yeah, he's good too.
More celebrities than me.
Is that right?
But his are more updated celebrities. I'm like, hey, there's Jennifer Grey, my old girlfriend. When I show my kids like the celebrity women that I dated,
Yeah.
like, ew.
They're like,
They're like old now, you know?
she was hot back in the day.
Like,
92? That's a bit I have where I
and you
talk
have to
about.
defend yourself. It's like, no, she was hot. I show people at the reunion, the girls that I was with after, like, oh, God, are you kidding me? What are you kidding? She's hot.
Yeah.
I have to argue with myself.
She was a dime back in the day.
I know, but so I don't go out clubbing anymore. But I took Bill to the Lakers game the other day.
Is that right? Okay.
We hung out, and that was funny because we were backstage.
Yeah.
I used to date the owner, who's also old.
Is that right?
Not impressive, but and she knew Bill as well. He knew everybody there. Everybody knows Bill.
Yeah.
He's so good, and I cannot wait to put us together.
Yeah.
To really make America laugh again.
Yeah.
Both of us aren't political, but we're very conscious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we both just like making people laugh. We both get standing ovations.
Yes.
Really bring it. And joke for joke, you know. And,
Right.
you know, we'll go joke for joke, pound for pound with anybody. And now we're going to put the two of us together. So we're really.
That's great, man.
He's a great guy. I know. I agree. And we're
How
gonna
many, how many cities you guys looking at?
Well, we're just starting with one and just get on the map, and then we're probably gonna have locals, or, you know, have a contest to open for us.
The open. Okay, I got you.
Hopefully a diversity thing.
Right.
Actually, would that be like bad if we like said we're gonna have a contest, but no white people?
The white people.
Would that be? Would that be?
Coming from you though, I think it will go over well. Coming from Bill, will go over bad.
Can't say it.
Yeah.
Although I found out from my DNA, the 23andMe, I'm 14% African.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm here hanging. I want to find out what it's like to be us.
Us.
I've never been us.
I'll take us to the family reunion this weekend, and
Imagine me showing up. This is Craig, my cousin. He's 14%, but he counts.
yeah, that's right. Eating collard greens and
You know what? That's all mixed race, really. But you know what? That's such a white perspective, mixed race.
mixed race. Yeah.
That's always from a white perspective. Never somebody go, look, he's mixed race. I think he's got a little Swede in the woodpile. It's always if it's somebody dark.
Yeah, exactly.
It's from that
Exactly.
perspective. But yeah, so I just found this out. I'm finding a whole other family tree now. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's something else, huh?
It's really strange. I thought I was just flat on, you know, like,
What did you did like Ancestry.com or this swab
send
send it in?
and it was I was hoping for more like Native American so I could own the casino.
Right.
I'm black. I'm going. Well, what do we own?
No, we need reparations. We need reparations. That's right.
That ain't
That ain't happening.
It is for the Native Americans.
Right.
I'm going to go to the Chumash Casino and go, I own this.
I own this place. That's
I
right.
know a Native American.
Give me all these chips and walk
I was
out.
pissed. All that time I thought I was like Cochise.
Oh, that's so funny.
But it turns out I'm a Jamiqua.
I have to do one of those.
What's that?
I have to do one of those swabs. I want to like find out more about.
About your ancestors.
Give me $200. I'm going to tell you right now, you're straight out of Africa.
Is that what it costs? $200 bucks?
$200.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Find out.
it is. It is about 200. I know about the other bloodlines, but there's specific parts of Africa I want to know about.
Okay.
Right.
I think I'm actually from like eastern part of Africa, just judging from how my mom looks and her side of the family looks and the hair and everything like that. Like probably Ethiopia or something close to like Sudan. But
Yeah.
I want to confirm it. You know, one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me was like when a lot of my white friends growing up, they all knew where they were coming from. Like they knew exactly. They would go, my family came from this part of Italy, or from Rome, or from, you know, I know people that can trace their family back to like town in Poland. But we had to do this experiment class. And it was like, all right, find out where you're from. So all the kids were on the map saying where they're from. And I had to lie about where I was from because I had no idea.
I'd have been like Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, just pointing it out like I'm from Aliquippa. I want to be from Wakanda, but that's not even a real place. You know, I'm from Aliquippa, born and raised. Yeah, my dad too. Yeah. Aliquippa, yes. Aliquippa, born. Yeah, he's a family relative. He's my cousin. Yes, he is.
Essentially, he's mine too.
Well, we're all in the family. We're all in the
I have some
family.
Iceman in my background.
Is that right, Iceman?
But I'm going to find out. I thought I came from curler.
Were you an athlete, like coming up?
Yeah, I was pretty good at it.
Is that right?
But actually, I had a failure in athletics to cause me to quit that too.
Is that?
I did.
She's just like, I'm out of here. It's not
Into a
good.
game in high school, and I was really small. So
Okay.
I'm big now.
Yeah.
I was 5'1" in high school, 92 pounds. And we're beating Lower Murray 37-0, and you know they put replacements in because you don't want to smear the team.
Exactly.
And Mr. Patton goes, all right, I need a cougar. And I'd never even played in practice. I was a water boy.
Yeah.
I was a sophomore, little tiny pipsqueak, and I just would watch the games, dreaming about getting in. And then my friend Steiny, he's fat and I'm skinny. We look like the number 10. And I just, for some reason, out of my cage on, went, oh, cougar. And I was a defensive back. He was getting this game for Chaz shooting. I couldn't believe it. Then they announced my name over the loudspeaker. It was surreal. Now I'm in the game. Craig Shoemaker. He said like a question, like he's on Jeopardy. And then I come in and my pad all the way to here. My shoulders end here. Look like a crucifix. I'm trying to pull out my chin strap and my guard. I never needed these things. My mouth guard. And I went in the huddle. My little league coach was there. I said, Herbie, what do I do? He goes, cover the split end. Don't let him get past you. It's our first shutout in 10 years. And I went right up on him.
Yeah.
And Steiny's on the sideline. Makes one. He's the only one who knows me. He goes, get out now. He said, I'm going home. I'm going to intercept this ball. I'm going to get my uniform dirty. Everybody's going to know my name. This guy goes by me like a flash. I'm trying to catch him. I was like a newborn fawn out of the womb trying to catch him. 6'7". By the way, he was one of us.
Is that right? He's one of us?
Yeah, he was one of us. Big black guy. So I'm trying to catch him. I'm now looking at the ear hole of my helmet. I look up and I see the ball float over. He catches a 62-yard touchdown.
Oh, wow. One play.
I nicked his ankle with my one play. I got in. But I got my wish. I got my uniform dirty, and everyone knew my name.
Everyone knew.
That's the jackass that let up the shot.
That's a victory.
So that was that, and to wet my pants are the two reasons I don't do sports and singing.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
That all led. It seemed like it funneled you into comedy. You have to do.
It led to this cigar shop right here.
Yeah.
Man, my wife.
You're going places.
My wife's not gonna be happy with the stink that I'm gonna bring. This is not a good smell.
I brought a change of clothes.
Yeah, is that included in my deal?
That's in your deal. Yeah. Yeah, we get to run your clothes through the washer.
By the way, folks, if you're watching, I get nothing for doing this. We got some rot gut booze here.
Listen, well, speaking of that, I know you don't drink or anything,
I did
but
that for you. I did that.
yeah, there's a little plug, little
segue.
segue.
Organic.
I love the way this.
It's an organic
That
pitch.
segue.
Now, when you call them on it, you have to edit that out.
I gotta.
You call it the organic pitch. It's not organic.
It's not organic anymore.
But yeah, I thought I'd lead you into the sponsor here.
Well, yeah.
Happens to be you.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a piece of this distillery here. It's called Mclaughlin Distillery. This is our bourbon that has been aged for 3 years. It's our baby barrel, so we do this like in a 5-gallon barrel, and it's a charred oak barrel that we have, and basically we do this. And the way you make whiskey, well, the way you get everything, ultimately, everything comes from moonshine. It's just aged. That's the only difference. So this is the base of everything. This is what comes out of the still, and then you put.
That's from your backyard.
That's from my backyard.
Next to the swing set.
Well,
Next to the swing set, you got to.
Sometimes you gotta do, or the bathtub, and that's the same one I usually bathe my daughter in. And then, so the used oak barrel, if you put the moonshine in the used oak, it then becomes whiskey.
Oh, okay.
So to give it a little bit of flavor, this is toasted applewood. So what we did is we had a applewood tree, charred the wood, and put that inside the barrel. So over the course of time, the expanding and the contracting and retracting of the barrel is how you end up with your whiskey. So
an education.
Yeah.
What'd you get named Mclaughlin? You're watching PBS
Well,
one day. The Mclaughlin.
the,
For a booze here.
the guy with the money, that's his name on there. Yeah, Kim McLaughlin. He got the money.
guy with the money.
Yeah, he got the steel, he got the building and all that. I just got a little piece of it.
You always
So.
gotta put the person to get the money on.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think Roberson Distillery would sound too good. You know what I mean? So T-Robe whiskey, like I don't know, Rock and Roby. I don't know. What do you
Well,
want?
you would have a specific clientele for that.
Yeah, you're right. I would have to make Hennessy.
That would be that stuff. That would be that stuff. That would be the T-Robe.
The T-Robe, the moonshine.
Yeah, the moonshine's the T-Robe. The fine Cavassier type of thing. There's McLaughlin.
There's McLaughlin.
Different names for it.
That's hilarious, man. So,
By the way, I noticed our people.
yes.
I keep noticing new things now that I'm black. The word you just said, a word that is said differently than my white friends.
What's that?
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Bellamy does that, especially comics.
Yeah.
If comics, a lot of times they'll laugh at each other.
Yeah.
They'll just go, it's hilarious. That's hilarious. And I always notice because I say hilarious.
Right.
That's how my old people say it.
The old people. You've disowned them.
I'm done with
You're
them.
done with them. So your wife's in an interracial relationship. It's kind of like my wife. Interracial relationship.
Season of Def Jam after.
It should be, for God's sake. I'll be honest with you. Seriously, I'm not to be racist, but black crowds are better. Put your whole body into the laugh.
Yeah. Oh, they lose it.
Oh my
they
God.
lose it.
It's like a,
but
it's like a back. You got
that could go right.
I got that down.
Right. Yeah. That's easy. Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
So I am worried
because these same people that are laughing so hard. See, but
they're looking around because they don't know if it's right. Black people, the whole body.
Oh, yeah.
I got this chair to high five a guy 50 feet away. Oh my God! I can't breathe. And white people are like, it was amusing.
Yeah.
It was
amusing. So
looking around, they don't know if it's right to laugh. But I was actually raised. My mom was pretty much disowned me.
Okay.
My dad completely did. So I was raised by mostly a black woman who would take me to these churches.
Is that right?
And that's where I first saw the absolute celebration of life.
Yeah.
And white people have that, like, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of white people have this, like, little chip that prevents them from being full on out.
Yeah.
You mean full on out with your heart and your soul. And then I would see, I was the only white kid in there. She would bring Myrtle with her. And by the way, I also learned how to talk.
Yeah.
You don't have to say words.
No. Exactly. Yeah.
What did I just say?
You didn't agree with something. You disagreed.
My baby does that already. She's on
Really?
11 months. Oh yeah. It's all. I'm like, arguing with an 11-month that looks like a 2-year-old.
A 2-year-old.
She's cute. She has a deep voice too.
Already?
She sounds like, she said, hey,
Give me my bottle, Dad.
But it sounds like James Earl Jones. I thought it was a voiceover. I was like, hey. She's like, hey. I was like, what? Dad.
Where's my bottle?
Like, look here, Darth Vader. You gonna have to pay some bills.
There's something right there. Like, man, voice, come on.
Great. I did want to ask you, what's your views on the way comedy is now, as far as like the new upcoming guys, the way it's changed? Because it seems like it used to have like a more linear approach for stand-up, and then it started changing. I mean, outside of like Pryor, who was different, Carlin was different, Cosby, who was different, Kinnison, Bill Hicks, those guys, and then you just had like your straightforward comedy. You've never been a straightforward kind of guy from what I've seen.
Right.
It's always been different and it's always been funny as hell. But it feels like the new age of comedy is changing. Like you don't have to have a punchline. It's like the premise is the.
There's almost like, and again I'm generalizing. There's almost like an arrogance to it. Like if you're not laughing, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Where I look at it is like if they're not laughing, it's my problem. And I think that's the biggest difference. Is they'll read a grocery list and go, huh. You don't think that's funny that I just read my grocery list and we'll bring notes on stage? I treat it like they paid money. They paid a lot of money. You better make sure that you bring them the best night of their lives. So I never, ever, this might be a difference between generations, and I don't know if it's me personally, never do I let up one single bit. Never do I make it about them or make it, even if it's 4 people in the audience, I absolutely give them everything that I have. You know what I mean? I think that might be a difference. I'm not saying this for the first time, so I don't know. I haven't clinically studied this. But
I would say that's probably true, because like we do shows and we've seen it where it's exactly that. No matter where we're going, like if we're on the road or whatever, you do see where people don't fully go through with what they're saying, or they don't go through with the routines, or if the crowd's not feeling it, they're like, oh well, let me stop 5 minutes in. But if it's a 10-minute bit, what if you got them that last 5 minutes?
Right.
To
me, it becomes a challenge. It's like a puzzle. Like, so if I can't grab the audience right away, if I'm never in that type of a situation, to me it's now a challenge. I'm like, I'm gonna get you at some point. You're gonna then it'll click. They'll be like, oh, okay. Then you can see the actual audience starting to turn, because eventually maybe they're just not acclimated to who you are on stage, or maybe your timing's off that day, or maybe you're whatever it is. To me, it becomes a personal challenge to get them. I don't get scared of it. I go deeper. But you got a lot of comics who will run away from that. I've seen comics get on stage and go into a bit, and the audience wasn't feeling it, and they're supposed to do 25 minutes as a feature, and at the 15-minute mark, you get that's my time. You're like, what the hell did you just do? Like, you
got 10 more minutes.
You got 10 more minutes, yeah. So no matter what, you got to fill it.
90-minute show.
Yourself?
It's a 90-minute show.
90-minute show.
Treat it like a play.
Right.
Like it's got a beginning, middle, and end. It's got callbacks galore.
Yes.
That's the other thing that the new comedians, they don't even like the word callback. And for those of you who don't know what a callback is, it's like you set something and then you pull it back later.
I'm a huge fan of callbacks.
In this interview, I might go, and I pissed my pants.
Right.
Because I mentioned that.
Because you mentioned it earlier.
20 minutes earlier. That'd be a callback. And I love callbacks. And it seems to be an art form that's disappearing. It's almost like a snobby thing. It's like, oh, if you have to rely on that. I always crack up at some comedians that rip on like prop comics. I go, if you get a movie. It's filled with props. You can't live without a camera. You can't live without the thing you pick up for the scene.
Right.
You know, they're always acting like it's the only way to go is just to stand up with a microphone and everything else is a crutch. It's not a crutch. It's just another way. It's another vehicle to get to the humor. You're trying to humor the people.
Exactly.
You're trying to make them laugh. That's the objective.
Exactly.
Well, one thing I've always had a hard time, I never talked about this before, is I'll admit it here because no one's watching. Anyway.
I'm sharing this on my Facebook. Get that. I got 5,000 followers.
And tag me, you'll have
I'm going to tag you.
I have always had a hard time opening the show.
Yeah.
Because
it's like an MC, you mean?
No, opening the show. Like, what am I going to say? What are my first words?
First words.
Because that's the first. So you guys actually have an advantage because any minority, or if you're fat, or if you're really skinny, if you look a certain way, you're bleeding from the word go. People already identify with you because this person's lived through pain, either being a minority or whatever it is. I walk up and I look like I sold them insurance yesterday. I got them off. You know, this white guy.
Right.
So I have to convince them and tell them the stories that now they can relate to me.
Yes.
So so the first 5 minutes I actually almost like do cheap stuff, like local stuff. I'll localize. I'll do bits about Pittsburgh when I'm in Pittsburgh, from Andy Brothers, whatever it is. So I localize it, and then they go, okay, now we relate to it.
Right.
But you guys can walk up, and we already know as an audience.
Right.
Oh, we know why you're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't have it easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I look like I had it easy.
Yeah.
So when I was in Canada, the first 15 minutes I did was about being black in Canada.
Yeah.
And that was like 15 minutes of just my trip.
Yeah.
And then went to the set, and the sets were 70 minutes, and it's like, when you're looking at it, you're just like, okay, I get exactly what you're saying, because that first, you always have that anxiety about the first 5 minutes, because you don't know, especially if you're doing something like where you can't necessarily go off just local stuff, like if it's a TV set.
Oh, right. Oh,
And
yeah.
then, like, I remember when I did Stand Up and Deliver, I was terrified at first, because I'm like, what am I going to open with? Like, I can't really talk about comedy here. You know what I mean? Like, the people at home aren't going to understand or get what I'm talking about.
Vegas is that way, too. You can't localize it.
I just did Vegas last weekend. I was just in the weekend.
Localize it, because many people are not from Vegas.
And no, it's big. Yeah, everyone's just coming in and going out.
And by the way, Vegas crowds are very difficult for that reason, because there's no common theme or thread.
Right.
So now you have to find the common thread within the structure.
Very, very true.
Yeah, I change it up quite a bit when I go there, and I don't localize it. A little bit about gambling, because everybody they're in a gambling town. But, but basically, it's a different perspective. But anytime you do fish out of water stuff like you did, people relate to it right away, because they've all been a fish out of water. That's all comedy is. You're identifying some truth. And you're sitting in the audience going, "Oh, that happened to me. I never want that to happen again."
Right.
There's some emotional response that they're connecting to from some fish out of water thing. But like I said, you guys walk on, you're the fish out of water.
Yeah.
Because most crowds are, well, it depends where you're working.
Right. That's
if
true.
you're working all black crowd, then you're not. You might have the same difficulty I do.
Well, I'll tell you what. See, with me, what I found is, typically with an all black crowd, the aura in the areas make me laugh. To me, that's how I feel. Make me laugh. Whereas, see, like you said something about like you love all black crowds. I love all white crowds, because when I go on, they're like, I can't wait to see what these guys want to say. So,
because they're already, you're bleeding from the
exactly.
They feel for you. There's an empathic response.
Yes.
Black people are going, no, okay, now make me laugh.
Now make me laugh.
This guy's, my Uncle Skeeter's funnier than this guy.
Exactly.
They're already thinking Uncle Skeeter should be on that stage.
Exactly.
So that's what you're dealing with. But I deal with white people.
With white people, right.
What kind of pain does this guy come from?
So we do these VFWs around here and things like that. There's 300-400 people at the shows, and if they're all white, there's a certain arrogance I have when I go to those. I'm like, I'm gonna kill these people. They're gonna, and without fail, knock on wood, those are some of my best shows.
I'm looking forward to working with Bellamy. We're going to mix the crowd.
That is right.
That's why we want to make America laugh again. We want to bring America together.
Diversity.
United we stand up.
Right. United we stand up. That's great.
You know what I mean? That's what we want to do. Is like we need to be brought together, and laughter is the one component that can do that.
Exactly.
None of this other stuff is going to bring us together.
No.
But there's no debate about how laughter makes you feel.
Yeah.
That's actually how we form Laughter Heals.
Exactly.
It's all. I do workshops I do work in cancer facilities. I just started in a rehab, working in drug and alcohol rehab, and I work with Wounded Warriors.
Right.
And we have them add laughter to their healing modality because they always say laughter is the best medicine, but that's completely dismissed.
Right.
There should be like a pharmacy that just serves laughter.
Right.
You walk in, you go, hey, it's two Jews walking to a bar. Hey, I feel better. My symptoms just disappeared. That's the idea of Laughter Heals. That's what
Do you have a foundation too?
Yeah, it's called Laughter Heals.
That is it, right to the foundation. Okay.
And it was inspired because one of my best friends, I'm sure you guys are this way, your best friends are the people you laugh with, right?
Of course.
You remember your buddies back in Aliquippa.
Yes.
And you remember your friends that you grew up with. It's like they're the ones you relate to the most, the ones you just share these laughs with, and that's your memories.
Yeah.
I mean, my family's tired of hearing those memories when Uncle Saram comes over.
Right.
We tell the same stories.
Every time.
It's funny every time.
Yeah.
We just cracked up because we're So one of my best friends, he's a comedy. Actually, he's a comedy writer. He wrote Cool Runnings. He wrote Giants.
Okay.
Michael Goldberg. He directed my first movie, The Love Master.
The Love Master. That was Michael Goldberg. Okay.
Yeah, he directed it. And we were filming actually, and his wife was ovulating. I said, try doing The Love Master. Because it'll make her laugh, because all these people tell me that all these births have happened after my show.
Right.
So I set her up, you knock her down.
Right.
Because people are always trying to have kids, and now you loosen up, you're laughing and all that.
Right.
So seriously, it's really a fertility thing.
Yes.
And his daughter was born 9 months later when we were filming. And then a year and a half after that, she's a year and a half old, his little daughter, he got brain cancer. They said, you have 3 months to live. And that's when I formed Laughter Heals, and he came to every one of our sessions, our workshops. I developed this whole program, training other facilitators. He lived 15 years past that prognosis.
Wow.
Because he had a will to live, and because he wanted to laugh more and enjoy his life as much as he could, and laugh himself to death. Matter of fact, I visited him on his in hospice. He was in a coma. I didn't even know if he knew it was me. I'm like, Golds, I don't know, because we were like, he died so many times through that 15 years.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, and he kept coming back, and we'd laugh, and we even had laughter about his seizures.
Oh, wow.
We would laugh about anything.
Wow.
He's sitting there, he's in a coma, he's staring. I go, Gold, and we've actually filmed this. We're doing a documentary about the healing powers of laughter.
Right.
So we filmed it. I said, Gold, I don't know what else to do. You're sitting there helpless. I said, what can I do? I said, you want me to jerk you off? I said, I've never done anybody but my own. I said, I'm really good with my own. I said, you want to get a little toss?
Right.
He came out of a coma and he goes, ah! He laughed one more time. And he died 3 days later. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we're really, really dedicated now. We're a non-profit now. We're certified. We're getting around the world, and we want to spread the message and have a World Laughter Day.
Yes.
These are all what start a laughter movement, because this is why we're censored, by the way, on FCC.
Yeah.
But the FDA is not.
Right.
They have all these drugs with all these side effects because there's so much money. There's no money. There's no laughter lobby.
Right.
There really should be a laughter lobby. I mean, because that will absolutely change the conditions that we live in. If we look more to laugh,
right,
more for pleasure, pursue happiness, like they say. You know, the forefathers said they always forget that part. They're all about the guns. Well, what about the pursuing happiness part? I'm not really happy if a guy's pointing a gun at me.
Exactly, right?
It's not pursuing happiness. So that's what I really do think we need to spread that message, and that's what I'm about, and do it in his name, because this dude loved to laugh.
That's an amazing story, man.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
It is, and that's, I love that you bring that up, because I always talked to him about this. I always felt like I knew when I went to do stand-up when I was a kid, and I felt something pull. So I always feel comedy is a spiritual.
It is a spiritual thing. We talk about that,
yeah, and it's spiritual energy, and we're healed.
You're right.
And,
yeah.
You know, every time
you got that right. I'm with you on that.
So every time we go out and we do a show, even if you're having like a bad day or you're in a bad mood, sometimes we gotta remind ourselves, these people are having a bad day too.
That's right.
There's a garbage man and there's a scientist in the same audience, and when they come here, they're here
together, and the laughter is contagious. Literally, it's contagious. It's just that people don't regard it as a church or a temple when it should be. That's what we are conducting. We're uplifting.
Yeah.
That's what spirituality is. You're lifting people's spirits.
Right.
And again, it doesn't get the concentration or the credit, or there's no. You watch the news and it's like all dark and negative because it keeps our attention, and we're completely mindless now.
Right.
But what laughter does is it connects you with your mind, your body, and your spirit all at once. The word ha, laughter is a spiritual word. Allah, Buddha, hallelujah, hallelujah. I mean,
Right.
It's a cleansing word, and people, but they don't look at it like that because there's no one out there. So I want to be like the spreader of that word in this documentary. Is let's get it started here. Let's use this as a bottom right now because we're at a bottom. It's so not spiritual what's going on. People are just exchanging bad thoughts on social media, just regurgitating what they've been told to say, but there's no thought or critical thought to it.
Right.
They're just saying it so they can keep their anger and be right. But there's nobody saying, hey, let's look at this way. Let's look at it as a spiritual thing, as a spiritual model.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not look at it as a drug? Because it oxygenates your body when you laugh, healing endorphins released, stress is relieved when you laugh.
Right.
Just check your own self out after you laugh and think about how you feel. There's no better feeling in the world when you think about it. Is there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And a lot of the best stand-up comics of all time come from some sort of preaching background, even if they're related.
Kinnison was a preacher,
When you hear Chris Rock, his granddad was a.
And he has that style too. It's almost like the preacher style.
So what do they call that? The cadence? It's called a sophist, is what it's called. It's called a sophist. Like when a preacher is preaching, and it's like it's a cadence that keeps you going, it's called a sophist. That's what it's called. And you know why I know what that is? You know who Benji Brown is?
Yeah.
He talks about that in his stand-up. It's called a sophist. That's what they call it. So that's the name.
It's an interesting timing.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's my favorite comic, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at him now and see if he got that cadence.
That cadence, exactly.
It's time to put something in the collection plate.
You know one thing, Terry here does a lot of impressions. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but he does a lot of impressions.
You do Chris Rock? Did I just screw that one up?
No. He does like an Eddie Murphy and
Richard
Pryor. But
do you do white guys?
I do Sean Connery.
Do a Craig Shoemaker one. You got to get Craig Shoemaker.
We could do dueling Sean Connerys. No one will know who we're doing.
Younger generation was like,
I know. I used to have a line in my act. I had to take it out because I got to find another reference. People call them gentlemen's clubs. Yeah. You ever seen a gentleman walk in like Sean Connery? Yes, that's a lovely brazier. Bring your arse close to my face. Let me do a motorboat in your bosom. By the way, I used to do them on radio because on radio. You got a
little mishap with my mic. I'm good. I'm back in the game.
So
that's why I quit talking. I'm back in the game.
Radio you can't curse.
Right.
The FCC, they're all over it. So I used to do Sean Connery on radio without his dentures, because without his dentures he curses. He goes, "Would you rather stand or shit? Would you like to play the suburbs or the shit?" Yes, so I would do that all the time.
That was your way to get around it.
Like, are we bleeping this or not?
Or not, right.
Oh, I said shitty.
I love it. There's a book that I read. It was called Zen in the Comic Spirit. It's a really good book, and it talks about Zen, and when you say Ha, it's a spiritual word it talks about.
Yeah.
And it brings into like how we always see pictures of Buddha smiling, and he's always happy.
The laughing Buddha.
Yeah.
So when did you feel that comedy was spiritual for you? Like, I mean, I know you said you started off and you were like, oh, well, I'm going to pay bills with this.
Exactly.
Yeah, when did you feel everything coming to it?
There were I call them ha-ha moments,
Yeah.
Oprah calls them aha.
Aha, right. Aha moments, right.
So I've had several of them, through the years, and it's usually based on some absolute pain, like unmitigated, constant pain that I could only either go deeper into it and get more depressed or suicidal, which I did try to commit suicide when I was younger, and you're just getting that condition. But then the only thing that can lift you out of that is some sort of a spirit.
Yeah.
And then I started to see, wow, you are already in this spiritual world of laughter, because I would see people shift their, you just see their moods alters,
right.
And I'm just, so there were these moments in my life, whether it be, difficult time with my ex-wife, or the difficulty with my parents, or whatever it was. It's like I could go deeper into this, or I can ask something that exists within us already. I think our higher source is our source. It's within us. It's not some dude with a beard with switches and stuff.
Right.
You know, I think the Steelers will win this weekend because I got money on them.
Right.
They're always thanking God. I'm like, really?
Right.
What's the other team doing? Damn you, God.
Exactly, right.
You know, I thought he caught that ball.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just been my thing. Is I keep going deeper and deeper into this consciousness that manifests into something that's bringing joy to people, brings joy to myself. There's that divine connection. It's a divine connection that you have with people because it's pure. All the stuff we take them. And we get rid of all of those things that are preventing them from true happiness. Just for that moment. When you're laughing, you literally cannot go, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
You cannot
Right.
be depressed while you're laughing.
While you're laughing,
You
yeah.
can't exist in the same space.
Right.
So I started to have these discoveries, and I did all this work with Laughter Heals, and then I my life just kept getting better and better, and I just brought in, less toxic people.
Yeah.
And now I bring in like beauty and wonderment, and that's what I have with the children. My 13-year-old just got caught with porn, but that's another story. I'm not doing that great of a job. No, I was like, but well,
Can't stop.
what do you?
Yeah, no, that's what happens.
It's just different now. We took our uncle's magazines.
Yes,
and we
right.
find under the bed.
Now they have a phone.
Now he's got a click.
Right, that's it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this kid! I don't know what to tell him.
My 9-year-old did that. And there was some kids looking at some stuff on their phone at daycare after school, and she was searching on YouTube for like sex. But I went in the room laughing a little bit. Like I didn't mean to laugh when I told Sharice. I was like, "Yo," she was looking at and she's like, "It's not funny." I was like, "No, if you would have saw the searches, it's hilarious." It's like Peppa Pig sex or it's all
right.
going to SpongeBob
Sex, right.
She couldn't spell lesbian wrong, right? Like, so you just got like some Middle Eastern dude singing songs.
Lebanese sex.
Oh, that's funny. Well, the other thing is, if you on your computer ever go to like Pornhub, right, and your kid borrows your computer and he's doing a report on Portugal.
P-O-R.
Oh, look what popped up.
Yeah.
It's not lesbian. It's lesbian. You got to watch where you go.
That's it. That's funny, man.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to you about like the spiritual part of it because there's not that many people that I can really talk to about it. A lot of people just think I'm full of shit. I came up with this routine. I'm like, no, you're a conduit.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Yeah, we've had major conversations about that. Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid and going to church, and Reverend Ham was his name. He was like the first preacher that I really looked up to. Yeah, Reverend Ham.
H-A-M.
Yeah, H-A-M.
Two M's.
Yeah.
Ham.
Yeah. And Reverend Ham used to always talk about how God would speak to him for his sessions, and I would talk to him as a kid, and I never understood what he meant. Like he would say, "God's talking to me," and I thought he was like literally having a conversation with God. But it's really, when you're a conduit and you have that spiritual positive energy, not everyone has that. Like, it's almost like you're being given that kind of routine. Like, okay, here's a routine that's going to like change the world. It's going to heal people. Do you feel that way, like with your bits and stuff like that?
I feel that the more I connect with that silence, the more I clear my mechanism. The more I get to that place, then the messages are able to, exactly. Then that's when they come out. It's like. And it could happen anytime, and it could be a different message. Maybe it's not funny, maybe it's a serious message, maybe it's an inspirational message, whatever it is. If I keep my mind cluttered, and that's what we live in a cluttered world. Yeah. The more I purge that stuff. Now I have got to do the same thing in my closet. I still have a Nehru jacket from the 80s. I mean, I got to do some more cleaning. But the more I do it, the more it comes in. Yeah. It's amazing how the universe does respond. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember, again, I've never talked about this before, but I had a really difficult time with my ex-wife. She really went off the rails on accusing me of things. I was always in court. And, I remarried and everything, very happy, but that was the one thing that was like drawing me to the darkness. Yeah. And then just a few months ago, actually, this lawyer kept coming after me for this money, and I was like fighting him. By the way, you can't fight with a lawyer. That's like going to get the Scud missile with a wiffle ball.
Right.
You know, I'm thinking I got the goods. I'm challenging him because I think I'm smart. Oh no, because he lives to kill people. He sent me a video of him in front of a Bentley that he repossessed, going like this, and like, you're next. You know,
wow.
This guy was coming at me
wow.
hard, and he had this a mountain mind, and he was wrong. It was too much, and he charged interest. And I'm like, no, and here's why. And I'm going to take you. I'm suing you. So we're back and forth, and then I got quiet, and it was $17,000. And I said, I got quiet, and I said, I'll fund $10,000. And I said, you don't have $10,000 because it was all spent for all these years of defending myself. Of course, you don't have $10,000. That's what my limitations told me. And then the higher source spoke to me and said, no, you have it. It will come. I said, I made him a deal. I said, I'll give you $10,000 cash tomorrow. You know, I got it somehow. Got him. He said, deal. So he takes it. Now he's gone. Toxic out of my life. I feel better.
Forever.
I swear to you, I go to Detroit that weekend. That weekend, I had a certain amount written down, thinking I didn't draw as well as I used to. I made $10,000 more than what I wrote down. Exactly $10,000 came back to me that weekend.
Wow.
And that's how it works when you connect with that voice, with that inner voice. It's pure and it's abundant and it's magnificent.
Yeah.
But we're talking, I'm from Philadelphia. What's this magnificent? Magnificent this.
Right.
They don't even like those words.
Right.
Wonderment. Yeah, I wonder what kind of nut you are. I mean, so that's how it works. But the more I get to those moments, the better my life is, the more enriched it is, because that's what the big G I call. You know, the big G's got that in store for us. But what you're probably finding out in comedy is it's filled with atheists.
Yeah.
Filled with atheists. And I have had them on my podcast, and I challenge them. I say, well, what do you believe in? They'll say something like, well, I believe in goodness, you be good to people. And then I said, well, what if that's your God? What if that's what you deem to be your God? It doesn't have to be what other people tell you it is.
Right.
What if goodness, being good to people, that's your spirit, that's your natural spirit that we're all born with? You know, kids laugh 150 times a day, adults laugh 5.
Right.
Because our spirits are broken. We're conditioned to just have these broken spirits and not truly let go. It's all about image and what it looks like and listening to rhetoric and fear. Oh my God, here's my new enemy today. Here's my new enemy. It's like I was taught that the Russians were my enemy, and suddenly it's like, oh, Putin's my buddy, you know? This is how I was conditioned. I was like ready for the commies, the red people to come. You know, that's what I thought as a kid. But now I'm realizing that we're all human beings, we're all connected as one. We're actually all one. Doesn't matter what our DNA is. But I still want to be invited to the reunion.
Make no mistake about it.
So do you find out with your kids, that's why you like being around them so much and the retirement idea? Because I know what my daughter's like, if I have to go on a road, I literally try to come right back as soon as possible. So we're saying it'll be cheaper to come back Monday. I'm like, I'll pay the extra $150 just to be around her.
Right.
Is that the feel? Like, do you feel that youth is giving you that life back?
Oh, absolutely. It's just each step along the way. Even my wife, she's the greatest human being I've ever met. There's not even a second and third place. And because of one thing, she and I both know that the answer isn't in the other person. We all know that the answer is in that connection to our source. You know, whatever you call it, whatever you deem it to be.
Right.
And she knows that, so therefore we do not even argue. I mean, we have little stupid ones, you know.
But that's gonna happen. But
I left the refrigerator door open, and you know, she's a real eco girl. I'm like, really, 3 seconds is gonna affect the environment. You know? I go back to Philly, and then I stop, and I'll shut the damn door. Stupid stuff like it, but it's so not. It doesn't have any emotion behind it. There's no baggage behind it, and we all bring so many pieces of baggage into these relationships, and that's why we have so much conflict, because we have these algorithms we've been taught and programmed literally to recreate that. That's who I married before. My ex-wife is literally my mom. The punishing, the judging, the harshness, all of that. So I would walk around like this, you know, what did I do wrong? And just try to please her. I wasn't doing anything organically. I was doing it because my ego actually wanted her to go, hey, thank you, you're great.
Yeah.
So
But you never got that, so.
Well, I would buy her 7 Christmas gifts, and if she kept 3, I was, oh yeah.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
The rest of it was like, you think I want this?
Right.
And I'll just, she's gonna love this gift.
Yeah.
But in the long run, it was actually selfishness because I wanted her to love me.
Yes.
When I thought about it, I used to think, oh, how could she not appreciate that? You know,
Right.
and all these things I would do for her. And now I show up and I'm real and authentic with the kids. They laugh at me all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they laugh at my mistakes, and you admit your mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of comedy is too.
Exactly.
It's self-deprecating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, you know, but it's like I just got to a place of more empathy. You know, and this empathic energy takes over, you know, my body, and only if I'm still, only if I have those moments of stillness where I can really just listen to the message that's there. There's a book called Conversations with God. You ever see it?
No, I have to check that out.
Conversations.
Yeah,
with
look
God.
that up. Conversations
A guy
with God.
goes on a mountaintop. So it's all just him and these messages, and he literally is pissed, and he asks all these really probing questions of God. He said, "If you exist, and tell me that," and everything that comes out of him is written in the book. So it's a conversation he actually has with this spirit, or this divine. And it is an amazing book. It's a life changer.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's no religion attached to it. There's no, doctrine, ideology. It's nothing but pure. You can't argue with his experience. This is his experience that he put down. You can get mad all you want, but that's what he experienced.
Right.
And it is absolutely so enlightened and so enlightening.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
I need to-
And that's one thing I was happy about. Like at 31, I've been able to figure a lot of this stuff out and just study more on myself. Because I think depression is really heavy in what we do because we're so used to healing people.
Yeah.
Like you said, sometimes we get selfish and we want someone to heal us.
Yeah.
And I just had I do Reiki sessions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
Right.
I had a Reiki session and the woman told me exactly what you said, which is interesting. It's you're selfish when you want somebody to do that for you. It's not being selfish to take care of yourself. So
That's right. That's right. Self-care is so important because then you can be present.
Right.
And we all have to be present for whatever it is, and that's the most important thing. So if you're not present, then you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's what we get.
I'm fighting being present right now. This Liga provider.
the League of Providers.
I'm a little bit high right now.
I told you they're strong as hell. He got a number
I'm
9.
fighting being. I'm like sitting here. I'm like, where am I at right now?
I got a Provider 52, and
This is the 9.
yeah, the 9 is very strong.
The only thing I'm liking about all this smoke is I probably look a little better. Because he's got
It's like an illusion.
I didn't know you guys were gonna have the red.
yeah,
It's got the
yeah.
best camera in the business.
No, that's a
Like,
big
I didn't
deal.
wear makeup or anything. I was not prepared for this. I thought it was gonna be a podcast with you and your computer. Throwing a microphone. We only have one mic, Craig.
No, that right there is the real deal,
we
man.
got a 3-camera shoot here with the red.
Ah, they can see every nook and cranny.
Oh, that smoke! I look a lot better. I don't look. I went to school with your dad.
Yeah, right.
That's called a callback. There it is.
There you go. The callback.
We got to go back in the episode to hear this.
Yeah, exactly. That's something else, man. But yeah, I wanted to ask you this. The one question I wanted to ask you. So if I've been doing comedy for 17, and we are both headliners. And I mean, we've gone through the stages of MC and feature for years and years and years. Now we're touring and headlining and doing things like that. I see a lot of these people on the internet, like social media, Instagram, and they're becoming famous comics for doing social media skits.
That's right.
How do you feel about that? As far as like someone like I know how it makes me feel because I've put the work in for so many years, and the payoff isn't coming as fast as I would like it to.
Of course not. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Can I curse on here?
Yeah, you curse.
I want to write a book. It always takes way more time. I want to write a book called "God's a Slow Motherfucker." Because when you think about it, everything that Big G does is slow.
It's slow.
The greatest things, the Grand Canyon, that took centuries to make the Grand Canyon.
Right.
I'm like, well, can you boost my career a little bit?
Right.
And we want it when we want it.
Right.
But when you let go, that's when it happens. It's amazing to me.
Is that right?
When you do let go and you do something that just sings to your heart, it will find its way.
Right.
It's not going to be the path that they took.
Right.
They took a path that they resonate with. I can write quick jokes that are 140 characters. I think it's up to 280.
Right.
on Twitter, and I know a guy has a whole career from it. Literally has his own television show.
Yeah.
He was the best tweeter there was. And I was like, and then so I was like interviewing him on my podcast. I'm going, how'd you do it? But that's how he did it. That's not what I'm good at.
Right.
So I got to keep on being better at what I am.
You have to find your lane
and you turn the
be
results
good.
over to whatever is supposed to happen.
Right.
And a lot of people, you also see them, they fizzle fast or die. They're drug addicted or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because it happens so soon. And when their head hits the pillow, they know I'm a phony.
Yeah.
I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
I did this on basically like fooling the people.
Yeah.
And that's how they go to bed at night. If you go to bed knowing that you did the best you could to answer to yourself and what you're meant to do, then you can't go wrong. I mean,
right.
You're just not going to have the same path. I'll give you an example of. We always have these. It's a lot deeper than I thought we were going to go.
Yeah, we scratched the surface, but we want to get into.
I'm debating whether to even tell my people to watch this. They might go, what's he saying? So So I had these illusions of what fame would mean and what success meant, right? And by the way, a lot of people think I'm really successful. I never do. I don't think I'm that successful.
Is that right?
No. I mean, because I'll look at someone else. I'll look at Bill Burr. He's selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
I'm begging for people to come to the Improv.
Yeah, right.
And then, shopping center and Homestead.
Right.
So I wanted this award. It was a really big award at the time, Comedian of the Year American Comedy
I remember that award.
Yeah, 1997, and my first year nominated, and I won. Here he is. The Oscars of comedy. By the way, Oscars pisses me off. There's never a comedy category.
Yeah.
Right.
Categories we could care less about.
Yeah.
People love comedy. It's like that shows you the disrespect for comedy.
Exactly.
Look at the Oscars.
Yeah.
True.
So they're so serious. It's like, anyway, I won this award. It was Roseanne and Lily Tomlin presenting me with this. I had a fun speech, but my speech was oriented around how am I going to advance my career. Actually, the speech was, I said, all these people are asking me to thank them. I said, I'd like to thank the people I'd like to work with. Because I work with them already. So I'd like to thank, in advance, Marty Scorsese, Stevie Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. So that was my speech. And what happened was the opposite. It was the loneliest night of my life. They gave me a limousine, and I purposely didn't have a girlfriend there because I wanted to find a new one.
Right.
My status went up.
Right.
So I literally go. He goes, "Where do you want to go?" I'll never forget. I'm in the back going, "I want to go to the comedy store." I don't even go to the comedy store.
Right.
I walked in with my award, and they ripped on me. They made fun of me because I became that guy that year. I became the hack that won. Then you get the hack label, and then you get all these labels because I'm not organic and I'm not authentic. I'm not genuine. I'm a guy that has an agenda of you're going to give me the attention that I never got. So that was what my agenda was.
Yeah.
I wanted more attention. I wanted I wanted that to happen. You going that way? Is that a
He's got a code in there. He's got a code in
Okay.
there.
Oh, okay.
Cut,
you got
go.
a code?
Yeah, we can splice that out. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yes, yeah, you're good.
Sorry about that.
No worries. We're rapping pretty soon.
My Oscar speech.
Right.
Jesus.
We're rapping pretty soon, so.
So I'll
We're
get
good.
to the.
Although this looks a lot of fun back here.
Yeah, we're having fun.
What are you doing, another podcast?
Yeah, it's going to be a web show.
Oh, that's great.
Good luck.
So I'll get to the core message of this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we just keep it going. Yeah.
So here I won, Comedian of the American Comedy Awards, and I will tell you, literally, no one ever has stopped me in the street going, "Are you the Comedian of the American Comedy Awards?" Never.
Right.
So
Never.
all these things that I thought would happen, none of it happened, and it was the exact opposite. It was like because I didn't really deserve it. You know what I mean? Because it was based on need and want. It was like you were talking earlier. It's like I needed your love. And I needed this, and this is what I thought would do it. And that award, Emmys, all there is jogging weights now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
they mean nothing. They mean nothing, and they just collect dust. Because all they are is a representative of at that moment you happen to fool the people enough that they voted for you, but it means nothing to yourself.
Yeah.
And so whoever has there were lots of people that were jealous, literally.
Right.
Like you sort of are with Twitter boy.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, and jealousy is all jealousy is the fun you think they're having. So
Right.
all these people are jealous of me, and then I became on their top of their resentment list.
Yeah.
It served me the opposite purpose of what I thought it would. So now it's just different. And by the way, the act has never been better because of it. Because now it is just for the enjoyment. It's to be of service to the people, not to myself.
Right.
And so once that shifted, everything changed. So anyway, if that's some words of wisdom
that is.
use,
Yes.
you just keep on. You can just keep on doing what you do. Express yourself out there. Talk about the spirituality of comedy. If that's what sends you. If that's and it's going to be something a lot of people are going to be uncomfortable with.
Yeah. I started talking more about that kind of stuff like a few years ago when I did my first album, and he was there at the recording, and it was just like I felt this awakening because I got hired from morning radio and a couple of things, and I was just like, I need to go a different route, and I was going a route that was pulling me instead of the route that I thought personally was the right way. Because I feel like sometimes we don't know what success is, and I was questioning this the other day. Is success really for us and what we think it is, or is success what they think it is? Because just like you said,
we do it for they.
And we do it for them.
You're doing it for they, and not you. And that's the key. So my success, if you compared it with others, I mean, I have people, comedians and stuff, or people, just audience that think that I'm like at the top, and I probably, well, stand-up wise, I know that I am, but money wise, maybe I'm top 300, which is pretty cool. But it's still, I'm not going. That doesn't like move me. I'm not going. I don't every day go. What's my ranking?
Right.
I don't do anything like that anymore. I actually won't even go to sites. I watch no comedians. I'm sorry. I don't want to do what they do. I want to do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So I don't pay attention to them. I pay attention to the person who opens for me, so I don't cross material, and that's it.
That's it.
So I don't really. I also don't want anybody to say he stole that, because then I'll know. What if it does come in because I watch somebody? If you watch someone,
subconsciously,
it's going to come in. So now I watch no one, and therefore it's only going to come out of here. Every single thing that we talk about today just came from here. Things I never talked about in my life.
Right.
Because you guys you made it safe, you made it fun, you made the conditions what I enjoy, so I can be my true self, which is where we all want to be. So that true self is brought to a radio show this morning where I had fun on WDVE. It's brought to my home, my family. I coach Little League, I coach football. It's brought to every single situation there is. My acting auditions, my writing. The writing's never been better.
Right.
I just got off of Fuller House. I wrote a season of that.
Right.
I wrote a cartoon recently. I wrote another cartoon, a couple TV series. Whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And I also turn down things now, which is so hard. Because I love radio.
Yeah.
And then I got offered to do a big radio show.
Is that right?
But some things did not line up, and I talked to two people I respect, and I turned it down. And that's not easy, because that's the old self was going, it's money and it's what you wanted, it's what you wanted.
The ego.
It's the ego. I heard an acronym is EGO, is edging God out. You're edging God out of the equation.
Yeah, I see.
It's about you. It's
that's
about
something else.
It's about your former needs and what you thought you wanted. And here I really do want a radio show, but it wasn't the one that I wanted to do. It had conditions, and I'm going, I am not going to do that, because I'll compromise my own integrity to do what they want me to do in their image of what things are, and bean counters, and that's what happened to radio too. They just removed all the creativity out of it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And creativity comes from the creator.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're tapped with the creator, that's the creativity.
Right.
But if you're tapped with just the mind, only mind stuff is going to come out. You'll connect with people and it'll be funny and all that, but if you could really tap into that stuff and help people, then we're all dialed in.
I thank you for that wisdom, man. Thank you for sharing that for us, man. I bet
It was, I
yeah.
don't
No,
Thank you for
that's
that.
great. I mean, a lot of people need to hear that, and hear the spiritual part of it, and how important the spirit is in general in life. It's really important for people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we love doing comedy so much. You get that connection, and once you really tap into that spiritual part, that's when everything just blooms perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is with spirituality is people have this vision that you have to be on a rock in Sedona going like this.
Yeah.
That's how they've been programmed.
Absolutely.
Right.
We've also been programmed the other way that you have to win by these versions of victory and getting over and getting by. One of the things I'll never forget this in like 2002 or something. Kobe won the championship. The first time ever in his life. I'll never forget this. It was like another ha-ha moment. And they go, "How's it feel?" He goes, "Wait till next year. We're going to get him again." I'm going, "You couldn't enjoy it for a second?"
Yeah, right.
So here's the ultimate moment. Is like the best he could possibly do.
Yeah.
It is glory.
Right.
He got there to that destination that he thought that he wanted to fulfill him, and he goes, "Wait till next year." I'm going, whoa, and he never took it back. He said, "Well, we're going to get him next year. It'll be a 2-3 or whatever."
Yeah.
Repeat and all that. And he did it for the fans. He goes, "We're going to get you another championship." And I'm going, "What about you? How
yeah.
do you feel right now?"
Right.
And that's why I went, no awards, no championships. It's so fleeting.
Yeah.
It's who you are on a daily basis, what you're bringing to the world. That's what's going to really make these great transformations take place for us,
Yeah.
Did we go too deep here today?
No, we're good. This is good stuff.
This is the whole point of the show.
Well, we had two NFL athletes on last week, and Mike Logan and Terry Cousins, and
Did they go any?
no, they were talking about
They were being goofy.
about the
But there was
NFL
some
and
deep stuff that they
there was
did
some-
talk
yeah.
about.
about like the CTE stuff and
Because Mike
yeah.
Logan had an aha moment,
Yeah.
where he was talking about spiritually.
Yeah.
When he was a kid, he stood up on a rock and said, "I'm gonna play in the NFL and I'm gonna play in the Super Bowl." And
Yeah,
my man won a Super Bowl.
and he
Put it
did.
out to the universe and
Yes, and it came back to
And he
him.
said
Yeah.
that he felt it from here. So
Yeah.
I think that 14% is that the spiritual part of Africa, the roots
That was
of
a
the
root
Wakanda.
back.
The Wakanda. Now everyone's walking around like this now. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. My kids took me to that movie.
Black Panther.
Yeah, you know I can tell a good movie these days at my age. How many naps? And I only did 2 naps.
Two naps. Must have been pretty good movie.
It's the best movie of all time.
Yes.
No naps.
No naps, right?
Yeah, it's almost impossible.
So 2 naps.
That Shape of Water, I didn't make it through the opening credits. That wasn't even a nap. That was a full-on put me to sleep.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I haven't seen it yet.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
There's a callback.
Great, man.
Well, this was fun. I think we end the show when my eyes are completely glazed over.
Yeah,
It's happening
yeah.
right now.
That's happening right now.
Here.
Hey, listen, we had a great time. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming
it,
on.
definitely.
We really appreciate it.
And we hope you kill it all weekend.
I
and,
told him I'm African. Did you see that shake? That was such a white guy shake.
Well, here, we'll teach you the raw boy.
this is what we do.
I feel like I'm their banker.
We gotta teach you this. This is what
Here's
we
the
do.
raw boy. Ready? 1, 2, salute. Okay.
I don't have that in me.
You
Come
got
on, you
it.
got it.
He did it. There you go.
Come on, man.
14%.
I got that.
There you go. There you go. That 14%.
Why don't I go back home and show my
Show your people. Teach your people.
my peeps.
Thanks a lot, man. Well, we're good. That's a wrap. We're good.